Alright, fans are quite enraged at the moment. The exact same referee crew from that disastrous Lynx Mercury game was assigned by the WNBA in a recent outrageous move. Yes, that one. To the semifinals between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces. You're correct. The officials who issued Cheryl Reeves' suspension are now unexpectedly in charge of Caitlin Clark's most difficult playoff test to date. People are calling this outright corruption, believe it or not. What are your thoughts then? Did the league select these referees on purpose in an effort to slant the outcome?
It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those three people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players. I think it's crap. And there's no call. And all of them said it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't have that. I didn't see it that awful.
Okay, so let's get down to business and examine this complete mess. The WNBA has officially lost the plot, assigning Jana, Randy Richardson, and Isaac Barnett the same team that completely messed up that Minnesota game to the Fever versus Aces semifinal. It's more than just crazy. Not all people are tone deaf. It's a huge insult to all of the fans who have already criticized the league for their blatant ineptitude.
Let's jump right in. I want to start with the play that set off all of the chaos. Everything else that we will talk about, there is one play that set off all of it, and it is this steal that Alyssa Thomas made on Napheesa Collier. So this was at the end of the game. Fee is dribbling down, and Alyssa Thomas goes across her body, steals the ball, and then takes the ball full court for a layup on the other end, and that pretty much sealed the deal for the Phoenix Mercury. They won last night's game, but I want to show you guys the close-up. This was not ruled a foul, and I am dumbfounded by the amount of people online, even the amount of professionals online who are saying that this is no foul. And the reason that they're saying that it is no foul is, as you can see here, Alyssa Thomas reaches across, and when she reaches across, you can pause the video here, she gets all ball first. Okay, so no. Was there any foul when she was tapping the ball away? No, it seems like there's no contact there. She strips the ball clean. But as you can see, the angle in which Alyssa Thomas is running across Fee, Fee's going this way, Alyssa Thomas is going this way. Fee is in full motion. You can even see, again, with this screenshot, the angle in which Fee's body is going. She is going full speed in one direction. She is running in one direction, and Alyssa Thomas cuts her off in that regard.
Okay, so let's go back in time and discuss what truly transpired during that Lynx Mercury game, since Cheryl Reeves' outburst wasn't spontaneous, isn't it? She actually witnessed Alyssa Thomas completely humiliate Napheesa Collier. I mean, calls that are utterly inconsistent, with no protection or whistleblowers. Collier was hobbling painfully off the court. Additionally, those referees pretended that nothing was wrong. The kicker is this, though. They suspended and fined Reeve for daring to demand some accountability. Her assistant also received a fine. Because they brought attention to the blatantly obvious truth, the entire coaching staff was disciplined. The officiating was utterly appalling. Cheryl Reeve is currently talking about this topic in greater detail on SportsCenter.
Who was it that asked about officiating for the game? Was that you, Kendra? And we talked about how dangerous it can be. You're hearing it from the other series. You're hearing other coaches. You're hearing Becky talk about when you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants.
Let's go ahead to the present day. The Fever managed to make it into the playoffs despite Caitlin Clark missing extended periods of play this season due to injury. The Thor line was formed by them. Every Fever game really resulted in insane ratings. Each and every arena was full. Suddenly, Mitchell, Boston, and Clark essentially brought the WNBA back into the spotlight. What criteria does the league use to determine how to reward all of that amazing momentum? They were given the same referees who completely disgraced the sport. Fans aren't stupid. They recognize the pattern. It is already well known that these particular referees are erratic, petty, and downright careless. Currently, they are presiding over Clark's largest stage. You guys aren't just dubious about that. It is simply irresponsible.
We were trying to play through it. We tried to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0, and she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. Had her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out, and probably has a fracture. And so if this is what our league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership.
Alright, it's crazy, so let's focus on the league-level malpractice here. Let's examine the Lynx Mercury game's numbers. Minnesota lost despite having a 10-rebound advantage and going 13 for 21 from the free throw line. Why? Because every time Phoenix got physical, the referees totally ignored their concerns. Alyssa Thomas could have received a dozen foul calls, but she didn't. Collier hobbled away. The referees simply walked away unharmed when Cheryl Ree exploded. Get this now! Clark, Boston, and Mitchell are expected to be managed by those same referees when they play Aha Wilson, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray. This is blatant malpractice. Please. We all witnessed Lexi Hall being elbowed and pushed throughout the game. Even fans have receipts. It was blatantly reported by Scott Agnes. The same team, consisting of Janet, Randy Richardson, and Isaac Barnett, will run the Fever Aces semifinal. No accountability, no modifications. In essence, the league simply stated, yeah, we know you hated them, but we don't care, and for that precise reason, this is being referred to as corruption. This is precisely how you would tilt the game in favor of Vegas, if that were your goal. Provide them with references who have already demonstrated that they will overlook issues. Referees who ignore their warnings when the game becomes physical, and those who discipline coaches for raising their voices. And who exactly benefits when the Aces thrive on physicality? Fans have been griping about the officiating throughout the season, so let's not act like this is brand new. Particularly with regard to Caitlin Clark. The opposing players have body-checked her like it's hockey, hacking, elbowing, and tripping her with hardly a whistle. These referees choose to ignore the league's most valuable star rather than defend him. And it's become so clear that even casual fans are wondering if the league really wants Clark to succeed when someone does call it out, resulting in suspensions and fines. You guys, that's how horrible it is. Referees who don't seem to care about fairness are actively undermining the enormous Clark effect rather than leveraging it. To be honest, this sarcasm speaks for itself. According to the WNBA, they wish to expand the sport. In their ads, they implore viewers to embrace the next generation. They then assign the most despised referee crew to the main event in the most watched playoff run in years. That isn't progress. It's self-defeating. Take a look at the stakes. The Aces vs. Fever series might have been the year's best. The reigning MVP and face of the Aces dynasty, A.A. Wilson, will face second-year superstar Caitlin Clark. Wilson and Boston in the paint. Young against Mitchell. This had every element of a classic. However, everyone is talking about the referees rather than the match. Fans aren't discussing rotations, matchups, or strategy. Whether Clark will even make it through the officiating is up for debate. That is simply pitiful, and the league is solely responsible. Let's focus on these referees in particular. Isaac Barnett is renowned for his lightning-fast technicals, which he gives out of sheer annoyance. Thus tech if Clark claps her hands following a missed call. White will use technology if he challenges a whistle to forcefully. Wilson can destroy Boston in the paint in the interim, but for some reason, it's a no call. At best, Randy Richardson is erratic. Touch fouls occur during one possession, followed by WWE wrestling. There is chaos, no rhythm, and no consistency. Fans literally refer to Jana, the third member of this trio, as invisible since she vanishes when the going gets tough. The semifinals are being run by that person. There is more to this than a conspiracy. It's incapacity. Additionally, it seems like corrupt fans have been ranting about this incompetence on social media. How do you assign the same referees who just gave a coach a suspension? How can you use officials that everyone despises to protect a product? How can you disregard your own paying clients? The solutions are straightforward. The WNBA is unconcerned. In any case, they're counting on fans to wash. They believe that controversy equals opinions, but when controversy is conducted unfairly, credibility is completely destroyed. Let's bring up Caitlin Clark once more now. She is a second-year student. In the league, she is the most well-known figure. On the road, she sells out arenas. She violates rating records, and the league is essentially daring referees to ignore the whistle once more rather than protecting her. She was criticized by fans throughout the season, currently using the same referees in the playoffs. What do you anticipate happening? Since Clark's injury, Boston has already taken on a great deal of responsibility. Mitchell has taken charge. Lexi Hall has persevered despite suffering. This team has worked extremely hard to get here, and the big plan of the league put them in front of the three officials who have already caused the sport to look bad. Fans are furious because of this. Remember that the WNBA's golden child is, in essence, the Aces. The money market is Vegas. They possess the star power, the glitz, and the ownership. In the finals, the league wants them. Everyone is aware of it. Therefore, it doesn't seem like a coincidence when fans see the same referees who saved them before they were assigned again. It appears to be partiality. Favoritism also utterly undermines trust. The purpose of sports is to foster competition. On merit, you win or lose. But fans lose faith when the referees take center stage in the narrative. Fans also stop watching once they lose faith. Sponsors also stop making payments after they stop watching. The WNBA is currently on a very precarious path. Let's not mince words. Referees are not the reason why fans watch playoff games. To watch the stars shine, they tune in. Caitlin Clark hitting logo threes is what they want to see. In the paint, they hope to witness a Wilson take on Boston. They are hoping to see defenders for Mitchell Cook. However, the referees are now the main attraction. That is the main issue. It goes beyond a single game. It has to do with a distinct pattern. The WNBA has repeatedly demonstrated that they will shield some players while allowing others to be compromised. The whistle is given to Wilson. Clark receives elbows. Stewart is contacted. Boston is robbed. This double standard is making fans go crazy. They're not dumb. They are able to observe who the league wants promoted. Now consider the consequences if this crew truly affects the result. Let's say the Fever lose a close game. Mitchell is burning. Boston is fighting. Just as Clark is drawing doubles, either Boston is knocked out by a phantom foul or Clark is struck in the arm. Not a whistle. Break quickly the other way. Momentum kills. Basketball isn't like that. The fans will not overlook that since it is manipulation. The consequences have already been observed. Cheryl Reeve lost it after the Lynx game. In a press conference, she cursed at fans, yelled at referees, and attacked the league. The WNBA suspended the league's most successful coach for pointing out the truth, rather than acknowledging that the officials made a mistake. Caitlin Clark's semifinal is now decided by those same referees. It's not simply poor visuals. That is hilarious. Fans believe the league is actively working against them, which is exactly why they are furious. The Fever makes its way into the fray, and the league throws them into a maelstrom of dishonest officiating rather than celebrating it. The Golden franchise, Vegas, reaps the rewards.